Welcome back to Swine Web Swine TV, the three pillars of livestock health, MSP Resistant Starch Revolution with Carla Shabaga. Welcome back, Carla.
Thanks for having me.
You and your team are doing some great things, and you have three crucial points showcasing how MSPRS is revolutionizing livestock management. Let's get right to point number one, Carla.
Absolutely.
How does MSPRS contribute to lower mortality rates among livestock?
MSPRS resistant starch is a unique nutritional approach to improving gut health. And it's one that can actually be used proactively in the feed or fed direct to build up an animal's natural defenses to keep them healthier. MSPRS mitigates scours quickly so that animals can use their resources to grow and to thrive instead of using their resources to fight off an infection. And I have a really good example of that in a study done at Iowa State. Jim, could you bring up the slide, please?
Yes.
There it is. Okay, so this was a study done where they fed pigs MSPRS for 2 weeks prior to infecting them with Brachyspira H. And they tested it against a control, an intermediate fermentable diet with some MSPRS in it, and a highly fermentable diet with more MSPRS in it. And what they found was that the diets that included MSPRS, the piglets did better. They didn't show clinical signs of disease and they weren't scouring. So as you can see from this chart, the intermediate fermentable diet had only a 46% of swine dysentery, whereas the highly fermentable diet had only 15%. So that's a 70% improvement when no MSPRS was added to the diet. And that has an impact on feed conversion rates and feed efficiency. Jim, if you could go to the next slide. So what they found in this study was that pigs that were given the highly fermentable diet with MSPRS actually did better. They performed better by the end of the trial with a 29% improvement in growth and average daily gain. And this all really has an impact. If you could go to the next slide, please, Jim. So the conclusion of this study is, taken together, the study demonstrates that replacing lowly fermentable fiber with a highly fermentable fiber mitigates disease during a Brachyspira H challenge and may help reduce antimicrobial usage in treatment and control of this pathogen. And this came right out of Iowa State. It was a great study for our product. And then if you could go back. Yeah. So when you have fewer animals scouring, it leads to a lower morbidity rate and consequently a lower mortality rate. When pigs aren't scouring and they're using the resources to grow and to thrive, they're not using those resources to fight off other infections. So MSPRS builds upon the natural defenses quickly for a more robust response to pathogen challenges and builds up the first line of defense. This ensures better health of the herd and improved performance that is both cost-effective and economically beneficial to the producer.
So that was a great study from Iowa State. Now let's explore this a little deeper, Carla. So in what ways does MSPRS approach help in reducing antibiotic usage in livestock production?
Well, MSPRS improves the overall health really by building up the gut microbiome and supporting the first line of defense. When you feed MSPRS proactively, it balances the friendly microflora in the gut to ensure that the animals have the resources they need to have a robust response when a scours event occurs. As we saw in the Iowa State trial, pigs that receive MSPRS in the diet scoured less. fewer animal scouring means fewer antibiotic treatments, but it also means less pathogen shedding in the barn, reducing the amount of spread in the rest of the animals. When there's fewer incidences of scours, there's less of a need to treat animals with an antibiotic. And this is a really good tactic for reducing antibiotic use. When you feed them MSPRS in the diet, the pigs have a chance to build up their defenses. And when there is a scours event, they will bounce back faster. And they don't lose that body condition either. More and more producers are using MSPRS as a reliable, economically viable approach to tackling scours. And it's really a natural solution that mitigates many different pathogens early on by feeding the animal on the first day of life, but it can also be used as a direct fed mitigation strategy when animals are scouring. Including MSPRS in the diet or as a direct fed product is being adopted by producers, veterinarians, and nutritionists as a sustainable approach to responsible farming practices and judicious use of antibiotics.
So how does MSPRS streamline labor efforts for producers in managing livestock health?
That's a great question. MSPRS's emphasis on optimizing gut health translates to reduced labor demands for producers. You can add it to the diet, include it in the feed, but you can also just simply put it into their pen or directly on top as a top dress on their feed. You don't have to handle each animal individually. And animals fed MSPRS tend to have a more robust response to scour challenges, and that reduces the need for intensive monitoring and medical interventions. This streamlined approach really allows producers to allocate their resources more efficiently and focus on other essential aspects of farm management that enhance overall operational efficiency.
There you have it, the 3 pillars of livestock health. Carla Shabaga, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.